Eisenhower answers America.
General, I'd like to get married, but we couldn't live on the salary I get after taxes.
Well, the Democrats are sinking deeper into a bottomless sea of debt and demanding more taxes to keep their confused heads above water. Let's put out a sturdy lifeboat in November.
Nervous about Nixon? President Nixon? Vote Democratic, the party for you, not just the few.
And every Saturday afternoon in stadiums all over the country, you'll see young men, like this one, watching the games and enjoying themselves. But 4 years ago, it was a different story. 4 years ago, many of our young men were on Heartbreak Ridge in Korea. And that was no game, but vicious, grinding war that went on and on as if forever. Of course, today it's all over, and the young men are trying to forget. But for one day this year, they'll remember. And that one day is Election Day, November 6th, when not only these young men, but Americans of all ages will be thinking long and hard about how to vote for the surest road to peace during the next 4 years. What are some of their thoughts?
I'm engaged this time, and I'm planning to get married. And I don't want to look forward to military service in war. I want my children to grow up in a country that's in peace. I think that Ike is the man that can do this for us.
I will vote for President Eisenhower because I am the mother of 3 children, and I feel with President Eisenhower in command of our country, I can raise my children with great security.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6, 8, 9,
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
These are the stakes. To make a world in which all of God's children can live, or to go into the dark. We must either love each other, or we must die.
Vote for President Johnson on November 3rd. The stakes are too high for you to stay home.
On at least 7 different occasions, Barry Goldwater has said he would drastically change the Social Security system. In the Chattanooga, Tennessee Times, in a Face the Nation interview, in the New York Times Magazine, in a Continental Classroom TV interview, in the New York Journal American, in a speech he made only last January in Concord, New Hampshire, and in the Congressional Record. Even his running mate, William Miller, admits that Barry Goldwater's voluntary plan would wreck your Social Security.
Too many have worked too long and too hard to see this threatened now by policies which promise to undo all that we have done together over all these years.
For over 30 years, President Johnson has worked to strengthen Social Security. Vote for him on November 3rd. The stakes are too high for you to stay home.
Do you know what people used to do? They used to explode atomic bombs in the air. Now, children should have lots of vitamin A and calcium, but they shouldn't have any strontium-90 or cesium-137. These things come from atomic bombs, and they're radioactive. They can make you die. Do you know what people finally did? They got together and signed a nuclear test ban treaty, and then the radioactive poison started to go away. But now, there's a man who wants to be President of the United States, and he doesn't like this treaty. He fought against it. He even voted against it. He wants to go on testing more bombs. His name is Barry Goldwater, and if he's elected, they might start testing all over again.
Vote for President Johnson on November 3rd. The stakes are too high for you to stay home.
Do you want Castro to have the bomb now? Do you want any country that doesn't have the bomb to be able to get it? Of course you don't. Where does Richard Nixon stand on the UN treaty to stop the spread of nuclear weapons? He says he's in no hurry to pass it. Hubert Humphrey wants to stop the spread of nuclear weapons now, before it mushrooms. Hubert Humphrey supports the UN treaty now, as do the 80 countries who have already signed it. Let's stop the spread of the bomb now. Humphrey. There is no alternative.
Paid for by Citizens for Humphrey Muskie.
In recent years, crime in this country has grown 9 times as fast as population. At the current rate, the crimes of violence in America will double by 1972. We cannot accept that kind of future for America. We owe it to the decent and law-abiding citizens of America to take the offensive against the criminal forces that threaten their peace and their security, and to rebuild respect for law across this country. I pledge to you, the wave of crime is not going to be the wave of the future in America.
Crimes of violence in the United States have almost doubled in recent years. Today, a violent crime is committed every 60 seconds. A robbery every 2.5 minutes. A mugging every 6 minutes. A murder every 43 minutes. And it will get worse unless we take the offensive. Freedom from fear is a basic right of every American. We must restore it.
Well, I felt that Ronald Reagan wasn't too good for education in California when he was governor.
I don't think Reagan showed enough compassion for the people of California.
What he did with the mental hospitals is a crime.
He made a lot of statements about cutting back spending. He really never did.
It's already common knowledge that he doubled our tax rate.
I don't know of anything he did for this state.
When it comes to a choice, I'll take Jimmy Carter.
I voted for President Carter in the primary. I voted for him 4 years ago, and I'll vote for him again.
On November 4th, re-elect President Carter.
There is a bear in the woods. For some people, the bear is easy to see. Others don't see it at all. Some people say the bear is tame. Others say it's vicious and dangerous. Since no one can really be sure who's right, isn't it smart to be as strong as the bear? If there is a bear.
Reaganomics sinks our country into the deepest recession and unemployment in 50 years. Now Ronald Reagan says the economy is moving up. It is, up on a mountain of debt and record Reagan deficits, more borrowing than all the other presidents in history combined. That'll drive interest rates up, slow the economy down, and then, if you're thinking of voting for Ronald Reagan in 1984, think of what'll happen in 1985.
He was serving a life term without the possibility for parole when Governor Dukakis gave him a few days off. Horton took him to our home. For 12 hours, I was beaten, slashed, and terrorized. My wife, Angie, was brutally raped. When his liberal experiment failed, Dukakis simply looked away. He also vetoed the death penalty bill. Regardless of the election, we worry that people don't know enough about Mike Dukakis.
Years ago, the biggest threat to her was nuclear war. Today, the threat is drugs. Teenage drug use has doubled in the last 4 years. What's been done? Clinton cut the Office of National Drug Control Policy by 83%. And his own Surgeon General even considered legalizing drugs. Bill Clinton said he'd lead the war on drugs and change America. All he did was change his mind. America deserves better.